He's a true friend, like I said, of law enforcement. I could tell you a lot of stories. I used to work with Rick Romley, or actually work for Rick Romley. It is my very, very distinct honor to introduce Mr. Rick Romley.
Thank you for the very kind words. Been a friend for a number of years. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is really good to be with you as we all come together and take that very first step of having a new sheriff in town, Dan Saban. Now, I've got to tell you, Dan, when he sent out his email to all of us, he asked us, limit your comments to 1 or 2 minutes. 1 or 2 minutes? I've got 16 years of history that I could talk about. 1 or 2 hours is not enough. But actually, I could spend an awful lot of time talking about my professional relationship with Dan, with the number of agencies that he worked with in law enforcement. I mean, the words have been said here today. He is a man of integrity. He is a man that is a professional in law enforcement. He is courageous. He cares about our community. But I don't think that gets to the essence of what I want to talk about. And how do I do it? In 1 or 2 minutes. And I thought about it. And I synthesized it down to one word. Just one word. One simple concept. Change. It's time for change. You know it's time for change. When I talk to my fellow law enforcement professionals, the leaders in this particular community, they talk about the need to restore professionalism in the sheriff's office. To restore integrity within the sheriff's office. Rather than the gimmicks that we see on a regular basis and the regular concerns about the abuse of power. You know it's time for a change. When the sheriff has become so angry over the years, his anger is not just focused upon the criminals. It's focused on anybody that disagrees with him. You know it. You know it's time for a change when the sheriff no longer can work with fellow law enforcement officials in this county. You know it's time for change when you have serious problems that face our community, that you have a sheriff that is so divisive that rather than pulling our community together to work towards a problem, he divides our community. You know it's time for a change when the number of lawsuits against the sheriff and the sheriff's office is greater than the 4 largest jails in America combined. So I have decided no longer can we be bystanders. We must stand up. We must stand up for what is right. So I ask you, you stand up I ask my fellow Republicans to stand up. I ask the independents to stand up. And I ask the Democrats to stand up and let us begin to make the statement be known. It is time for change, change, change. And I'll be with him no matter what barbs are thrown at us from that office.